What's up, guys? Carolina Jackpot time coming at you. It is October 5th, 2021. I can't believe that it's fixing to be week number 6 of the college football season. Time flies. It really does when you get older. And it just seems like yesterday the season was kicking off. Hell, it just seems like yesterday I was on summer vacation. Here we are, already in the month of October, already almost halfway through the season. And my Gamecocks are sitting here with a 3-2 overall record. I don't think that's shocking to anyone. I think that South Carolina has at least managed to beat the teams that they should beat so far this season, and they've lost to the teams that most probably had them pegged to lose to. Las Vegas gave us a little bit of a backhand during the summer, set South Carolina's overall win-loss total, or overall win total, at 3.5. Well, we're half of a win away from getting there. We are half a win away. I think we'll get it. I think we'll get it based on the fact that Vanderbilt is so terrible that they needed a last-second field goal to beat UConn, one of the probably the absolute worst team in FBS. So there's that. South Carolina owns Vanderbilt. We've beat them, taken their soul for like 12 or 13 years in a row, and I don't see it changing in 2021. I really don't. Looking at the rest of this schedule, first off, I wanted to touch on this Saturday's ball game. So we are headed up the mountain to one of my favorite places in the world, Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee, to take on the Tennessee Volunteers. I think they're 3-2 as well. This game has been one that I've had circled. I know our fans have had circled. I hope that our players and coaches have had circled as a game that is a must-win. And make no doubt about it, this is a must-win on Saturday for South Carolina. Okay, first of all, let me tell the Vol fans that I was impressed with your 62-28 win. I think that's what it was, right? Yeah, 62-28, something like that. Win at Missouri on Saturday. I thought that you would win that game. In fact, in our own contest and all my picks against the spread, I took Tennessee because I thought you'd win that game. I didn't think that you would win it and be up like 45-10 at the half. I was very shocked by that. I knew that Missouri had no run defense, but my God, I didn't know that it was that bad. Obviously, their coach needs to get something done there, and he's planning on making a change. He's already fired his defensive line coach, fired him after the game Saturday. So, hey, shout out to him. At least he's all about making changes. If shit's not working, he doesn't beat around the bush. If he knows you're not getting the job done, that doesn't waste any more time with you. He just kicks you to the curb. It's the way it ought to be, man. If you're not doing your job, you're not doing your job. You need to be gone. Well, that being said, that 10.5-point line, or whatever it is right now, that Tennessee's favorite over South Carolina is nothing more than a product of South Carolina versus Kentucky. South Carolina lost to Kentucky by 6 points. Kentucky beat Mizzou by 7 points. Okay, so the odds makers look at that and say, well, look how much better Tennessee was than Missouri. So we're going to figure out with a home field advantage, South Carolina. There you go. That's how that come about. And make no mistake about it, that's how it came about. The transitive property actually does not work in college football, but for some reason with the odds makers, they use it. I don't know why. The transitive property. And don't sit here and tell me, well, it's because we got a legit offense, Carolina Jackpot, and y'all don't have a legit offense and blah, blah, blah. First of all, does Tennessee have a good offense? Yes. I think they showed that on Saturday afternoon. Do they have an elite offense that's going to be able to put up points against a stingy defense? I don't know. You know why I don't know? Because Tennessee hasn't faced anyone this year who plays a whole lot of defense. They just haven't. Okay, you can make the argument for Florida. Florida does not play a lot of defense. Florida doesn't play a lot of defense. They just don't. They gave up a lot of points to some Group of 5 schools out of the state of Florida that they beat pretty convincingly because they were able to outscore them, but they didn't play a lot of defense against them. So this will be the toughest defense that you have faced all year long. Now, getting to South Carolina, I said, I think it was after the East Carolina game, I was very, very disappointed and upset with the personal fouls, with the jumping off sides, with the holding, with the just overall sloppy, piss-poor play at East Carolina. And I'm very upset by the fact that it has not gotten significantly better since then. Right? One would think that each week it would get a little bit better, but it hasn't. That's one of the things that points to me as maybe a little bit of a shortfall in the coaching process, maybe a little bit of shortfall in our staff. Okay, because if you got something that's a glaring weakness, if you're a good coaching staff, it should start to improve week by week. This hasn't improved week by week. If anything, it's stayed the same or gotten worse. Now, I shout out to one of the Gamecock fan on here. I can't remember who it was. He said, they're not sloppy penalties because we're undisciplined. They're sloppy penalties because we're a bad football team. We have to hold people, and we have to we jump off sides a lot because we're trying to get an advantage. That obviously, you've been watching South Carolina football for 5 games, and you didn't watch it at all last year. Okay? Because the same offensive line, besides one individual, Sadarius Hutcherson, it's the same offensive line. The same offensive line paved the way for an 1,100-yard season rushing by Kevin Harris in 10 SEC games. He didn't even play any Group of 5 schools. He didn't play any lower classification teams or FCS teams. That was 10 games against SEC opponents. I think the holding and the jumping off sides a lot is a product of A, being undisciplined, and B, it's a product of an offensive line blocking scheme that is too difficult for these guys to grasp because they're used to a simpler blocking scheme that they had under Mike Bobo. And everybody wants to hate on Mike Bobo. They want to rail on Mike Bobo because, oh, well, he ran off Ryan Helinski. He ran off Ryan. He didn't give him a chance. Blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? Looking at that this year, Northwestern is absolutely where Ryan Helinski transferred to, by the way. He did not win the starting job there. He is a backup. He's played in some games. He's played poorly. Northwestern has gotten housed on many occasions by teams such as Duke, by teams such as Michigan State, which apparently is a pretty decent team, and most recently they got almost dicked by Nebraska. I think they scored 7 points. They got beat something akin to 45-7. That's piss poor. He's playing piss poor on a piss poor Northwestern team. So obviously, Mike Bobo and his staff, maybe they knew what they were talking about. Maybe it's time that we face facts, stop crying, and put our big boy pants on and face reality, because it's knocking at your door. I fully expect to go on the road this Saturday and win this game. I mean, does Tennessee, like I said, does Tennessee have a good defense? Not really. They don't. I watched them in the first game of the season. Bowling Green, I almost said Ball State. Bowling Green marched up and down the field on them. Didn't put it in the end zone. Didn't really get in the red zone. The Tennessee defense stiffened up a little bit when it came time when they were approaching the red zone. But they went up and down the field on you, especially in the second half. And don't sit there and tell me, oh, it's because we took all our starters out. You didn't take your starters out. You were only ahead like 10-7 or something like that at halftime. Tennessee gave up 34 points to Pitt. Well, Pitt's got one of the best offenses in the country, Carolina Jackpot. They average, they're one of the highest points per game averages in the country. Well, I mean, that's because they played teams like you. They don't have a really good defense. Florida, yeah, you played Florida good for a half. Wow, golf clap. Too bad they don't have a scoreboard and they don't have final scores with halftime scores on them. You'd be great. You'd be in the top 10. Just saying. I fully expect to go up there and win this game. A 10.5 point underdog because A, we're on the road, and B, you took Missouri to the woodshed. And Missouri and Kentucky played a close game. And South Carolina lost to Kentucky. 10.5 point spread means nothing to me. Many of these point spreads mean nothing to me this year because there have been so many upsets. There have been so many underdogs covering the spread. It's a noon game. You're not going to be ready. You're going to come in riding a high horse because you beat up on Missouri. You're thinking you're world beaters now. You're thinking you're fringe top 25 again. We're back, 1998. Here it comes. Blah blah blah. The Gamecocks are going to come in there, and you're going to get ambushed, and that's just bottom line. Luke Doty looks like he's starting to come into his own as far as a passer. He looks like his field vision is improving. It looks to me like his foot is healed up almost 100%. He's looking better running the ball, and I'm confident that he's going to be able to lead this offense into the last half of the season, and we're going to have a productive final 7 games of the year. I truly believe that, and it starts this Saturday. We're going to get the win up in Blue Tick Hound country, and there's really not anything you can do about that. We're going to come in there and take the win from you. We're going to come in there and just take it like it's ours, because it is. It's ours. Looking at the schedule down the line for South Carolina, there's a lot of games there when I made my preseason prediction that I threw in there as sure losses. Sure losses. The game at Texas A&M, I felt like was a sure loss. The game against Clemson at home, last game of the season, obviously felt like it was a sure loss. I actually predicted South Carolina to upset Florida. I still stand by that prediction. I really don't think they're that good. And it pains me to say that, these teams aren't that good. That's why I think that we stand a chance to get them. But once again, reality is knocking at my door. We're not that good either. But we are just as good, if not on equal footing, with these teams. Texas A&M, not very good. Missouri, on the road, another one that I plugged as a loss. To me, at this point in the season, the way that they're playing, looks like a sure win to me. I mean, I don't even honestly know that Missouri will be able to beat Vanderbilt. The way they play defense, the game at home against Auburn. Auburn may be the best team that's left on the schedule. And I'm not making jokes and throwing shade. Auburn may be the best team left on the schedule. Sorry, Tater, it's not you this time. Sorry, Texas A&M. Sorry, 12th man. I have to apologize to you 11 times. It's not you. It may be Auburn. That may be the most unlikely win of the year. The least likely game that we win is the game against Auburn. Who'd have thought it? Anyway, it's been a crazy college football season, but I'm going to tell you what, this Saturday in Knoxville, 12 noon, it's going to be even crazier because we're going to turn the clock back. We're going to turn the clock back to 2016, 2017, 2018. Gamecocks, 3 wins in a row in the series. It's coming back home. Things are coming back to fruit. They're coming back where they belong. Gamecocks on top Saturday afternoon in Neyland Stadium. You can bank on that one, Carolina Jackpot. Already told you about it, so it's going to happen. Okay? Oh, it's the great but plug of Dixieland. Same old song by the same old band. Half-wit and checkered overalls. Tennessee can't lick my balls. I'll see y'all later. Appreciate it. Peace. And I'm out. Go Gamecocks. And woo! And go Coach Beamer. See y'all later.